what does it mean to prepare for success? I'm Nate, the FitFutureMD. I lost 30 pounds in 30 days. Make sure you pick up that free fitness and workout plan in the description below if you are interested. Like I say, it's there for your help and knowledge. So make sure you pick it up. All right, so we've all heard of these, somebody just won $2 billion in the lottery, right? So, and we've all heard of these stories of lottery winners that, you know, all of a sudden they've lost all their money, or, you know, they're back working their normal job, or, you know, they've committed suicide because of how well they were off, and then they can't go back. Like, so, and so that's what, you know, why it's so important to prepare for success, right? Which is what I'm wearing on my t-shirt, right? You might not be at the level that you think is success right now where you're at. You know, in my definition of success, I'm not anywhere close to that. But some people may see it opposite, right? I come from a single family home, or a single mother home, right? 80% of those kids do not make it through college, right? I'm one of them that made it through, right? So that might be success for somebody, right? Or what they would consider, oh, I got, you know, it's definitely a success on my mom's part. My mom got me there, right? You know, my mom, you know, made sure that, you know, I could read, write, and made sure that I knew how important education was, right? So, you know, her influence definitely made me successful in that avenue, right? But at the end of the day, you know, when success is thrust upon you, you know, you've done what is necessary to become successful, you have to be prepared to be in that situation, right? So, say, back to the lottery winner example, say you're given $2 billion, and all of a sudden people are asking you for money. Like, you got to prepare yourself to say, hey, I can't just give you money, right? Like, unfortunately, tax laws make it where I can't just give you money, okay? Whatever. I can set up this foundation over here, you know, to give you money. But most people are not, or, you know, when you got that kind of money, you're just like, here you go, you know, pop bottles and, you know, let's feed some people, let's, you know, do whatever, when you haven't set up, you know, your life so that $1 billion pays for that, right? And, you know, kind of a bad example, you know, billions of dollars is, you know, money that's very difficult to spend, right? But maybe you're talking about $1 million. Maybe you're talking about, you know, whatever. But most people that get to that point, they haven't done, you know, when you jump like that, where, you know, you're just handed the money, right? You haven't earned the money, right? Most people that get in that situation, they're not mentally or emotionally ready for what that entails, right? And that's what prepare for success means, right? So if you ever sat down and said, if I made $1 million this year, what would I do with the money? How would I allocate the money so that I help the most people and I don't go broke doing it, right? Or, you know, because even if you put it in an S&P 500 fund, you know, and made your 12% a year and took 4% out, you know, you're talking about a substantial amount of money that you can live on and help people with, right? So that's what preparing for success means, right? And even so, like, how many people as a kid said, oh, I'm going to win the World Series one day, and imagine what it would look like, and imagine what you said. And, you know, any athlete probably went through that, right? Like, I guarantee, you know, the Eagles player and the Kansas City players that were brothers that are playing against each other, I guarantee, you know, they never even imagined playing against each other in the Super Bowl, right? They may have played against each other in the backyard their whole life, right? And stuff like that. But it was never like, oh, this is the Super Bowl. What would I say if I lost this Super Bowl to my brother? Right? Like it's scenarios that you go through, right? So, when you have free time, you can think about stuff like this. Say, what happens if next year my investments make $1 million? What would I do, right? Like that's preparing for your success, preparing yourself mentally and emotionally, right? Because with great power comes great responsibility, right? And as one of the ones that is successful, it's your duty to help people get there and be successful, teach a man to fish, but also help the ones that may not ever be able to get there, right? For some whatever reason, right? And that's what we're doing. That's why we study finance. That's why I talk about finance on this channel. I talk about money. A lot of people are scared to talk about money and their finances, exactly what they do with their money. Like, a lot of people, there's more bills at the end of their paycheck than there is paycheck. And, we definitely want to turn that around for this country, right? So that, you almost want to make yourself the bank, right? The bank is, making percentages off of you every month, where you got a house payment, car payment, student loans. You've basically become indebted to them, where you're working for them every month. And maybe those student loans, they got you a higher level than you would have without them. Maybe they didn't, right? Some people, now with the internet, and if you can be popular on the internet, you can make a lot more money than if you went to college and just had a normal job, right? But you have to deal with that celebrity, right? So you have to deal with the consequences of being popular on the internet, right? And you have to be willing to accept that, right? If you have, so like Mr. Beast can't even go to Walmart without being berated, right? Like you have to prepare mentally for having to live like that, live in isolation like that. Imagine living where you don't really know if anybody's actually your friend, or if they're around you just because you make a bunch of money, or you make a bunch of content, or they can be popular because of you, right? Like all this is part of preparing for success, right? So that's what preparing for success means. Start with your finances. What would you do with your finances so that you and your family are successful forever, right? Like say we want to build a life and a lifestyle that not only are we healthy for a long time, most of our life, we're financially stable our whole lives. We can help as many people as we can, right? And that's the type of life we're trying to build, right? We want our children to be able to go to the doctor when they're sick. I don't want my kid to have to be on the Sprite and cracker diet, or Vicks Vapor Rub diet where, oh, you're sick, here's some Vicks Vapor Rub, here's some Tylenol. Like, I want them to be able to say, oh, well, it's this bacteria, we're going to give them, this antibiotic which specifically attacks this bacteria, right? Or, hey, this is a virus, like, here's, your antiviral medication, right? That's what you want. You want them to be able to go and catch diseases early, and, that's just one. Medical coverage that is good and stable and healthy, like, those are some goals that you can have, and you have to earn those and prepare for the success of having stuff like that, or being able to have stuff like that. And that's what this channel is about. This channel is about helping that's what this channel is about. It's about helping you prepare for that success. And hopefully we're doing that for you. I'm Nate, the Fit Future MD. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Pick up that free health and nutrition guide in the description below. And we'll see you in the next one. Peace.